Baruchim Aboyim B'Shem Irgin Shir Torah Moses Post. We'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's shir. Everyone who's participating in person here in the men's section and the women upstairs and downstairs, as well as everyone tuning in on the phone and through the live broadcast throughout the world. I'd like to remind everyone that Irgin Shir Torah relies on the support of the Tzibur to sponsor the shiurim, to continue bringing these shiurim to the community and the Abbas Torah the Rabbi. Call Irgin Shir Torah at 718-851-8651 or email tapecenter@yeshivanet.com for this great schus of Abbas Torah the Rabbi. Tonight we'd like to give a big yashikayach to Martin Silver and family for sponsoring tonight's shir. Let's chusser for Shlema for Afal Chaim Dov Ben Risa Shoshana Besoich Shor Choyle Yisrael. I'd like to give yashikayach to Hersh Chaim Williger for his support to tonight's shir. L'chvoid of Mazel Tov or Einikel Yechiel Mechel Williger. Tonight we have the cover to have with us once again Rabbi Ozeri, Shlita Rav Yad Yosef Torah Center, speaking on the topic of Am I Masking the True Me? It's my cover to calling Rabbi Ozeri for tonight's drasha.
Good evening. Good evening, Abutai. So, Shabbos morning in Shul, and the Rav is giving a drasha, and Sam falls asleep during the drasha. Not only does he fall asleep, he starts to snore. So the Rav says to Harry, who's sitting next to him, "Harry, wake up Sam." Harry says to the Rabbi, "Rabbi, you put him to sleep, you wake him up." We hope we're not going to put anybody to sleep tonight, but we won't wake you up. We understand it's a long, hard day. Am I masking the true me? True me means to be emet with myself. Am I living the life HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants me to live? Let's think about it for a minute. I'm Kovei Eitim LaTorah. I do some chesed. I give tzedakah. I think I have Yirat Shamayim. Everything sounds great. Wonderful. Well, let's take a personality from the Torah who had all these attributes and let's see what happened to him. Korach. Korach, Rabotai, had everything. He had Yehus. It's from Moshe Rabbeinu's family. Korach was from the Gedolei Hador of his generation, of the Dor De'ah. Korach had money. He was one of the richest men in the world. Korach had family. Korach had everything. So what went wrong with this man? Ma karalo, what happened to him? You know what happened to Korach? He refused to accept authority. Namely, the authority of Moshe Rabbeinu, the Rabbi of Klal Yisrael. He refused to accept that authority. The Rambam tells us, Mora Rabach ke Mora Shamayim. The fear of your Rebbe has to be like the fear of heaven. Kol ha-cholek al Rabo, the Rambam says, whoever is cholek on their Rebbe, Keholek ala Shechina. You holek on the Shechina. By the way, we're going to quote 6 or 7 quotes from the Rambam. He brings a prasuk to prove each one. Why do I need a Rebbe? Why do I need a Rav? Because the Tanah told us we need a Rav. The Mishnah says, Aseh lecha Rav. The Tanah understood that the Torah is a directory for life. And without proper direction, it could become very, very dangerous. Imagine you go to the doctor and he tells you, you need an antibiotic. I'm going to call the drugstore. I'm going to have it delivered to your house. He tells you it's a very strong antibiotic. Good. The antibiotic comes. There's 20 pills in the bottle. There's no label on the bottle. So you say, well, okay, I'll take half the bottle today, half the bottle tomorrow. Dangerous. Very dangerous. Can someone learn how to drive Can someone get in a car and drive without learning from an expert driver? Dangerous. You know the old story. A fellow learned how to drive up in the mountains. So the driving instructor told him, there's very dark, winding roads here. You have to be careful at night. If you see two headlights, it's a car. If you see one headlight, it's a motorcycle. The fellow gets his license. He passes. Great. A week doesn't go by, and he's a tremendous head-on collision. He's in the hospital, all kinds of broken bones. And the driving instructor goes to visit in the hospital. He says, what's the matter? Didn't I tell you when you see two headlights, it's a car? You see one headlight, it's a motorcycle? He says, well, I saw two headlights. I thought it was two motorcycles. I tried to drive through them. You have to learn how to follow direction. Without learning how to follow direction, it could be extremely dangerous. Torah is our directory. To try and live a life of Torah without following directions exactly can be dangerous. No question about it. Who can, and the Tanakh understood, who can direct us? Who can explain us these directions? Only our Chachamim. Only Gedolei Yisrael. Only Talmidei Hachamim. Hachamim, they're ready to explain. No question about it. The question is, are we ready to listen? That is the question. Sometimes we tend to think that what they say, the Rosh Yeshiva, the Rav, the Gadol, really doesn't apply to me. Or it just doesn't make any sense. Rabotai, I'm telling you, I spent my life talking to Gedolim. How many times I went into a Gadol and I asked, and I got an answer, and I walked out scratching my head. What? And every time, every single time, they were right. When the Mir Yeshiva escaped from the Shoah, and they mapped out a route, the Rosh Yeshivas, to escape to Shanghai, people thought they were crazy. People thought it was suicide. What are you doing? An entire yeshiva is going to escape this route from Poland to Shanghai right under the nose of the Nazis? They thought they were crazy. They lost their minds. But those that listened survived. Gedolei Yisrael have certain siyata dishmaya. We don't see what they see. We don't understand what they understand. I had a relative who was very, very sick, young. And the doctor said, that's it. Person is going to die. They tell me in the hospital there's one type of surgery to do just to make the person comfortable for their last days. However, it's a risk. The person is so weak that the person may die under the knife. I didn't know what to do. I got on a plane at the time. I flew to Eretz Yisrael. I went straight to the Stipler's house. Now, he was known to tell people in such situations not to do anything. I went into him, and I had to write everything down. He was hard of hearing. He read everything. And he tells me in Hebrew, Telech labayis taseh nituach. Go home and do the surgery right away. So I looked at him, and I started screaming in his ear. But they said the person could die on the table. He started yelling at me. Ani Mavin, I understand. Go home and do the surgery. Rav Baruch Soroskin asani tuach v'chai esrim shana. Baruch Soroskin did it, and he lived 20 years. What's it got to do with Rav Baruch Soroskin? Okay. I went home, and I pushed everybody. I pushed the family. Let's do the surgery. We did the surgery. It was supposed to take 45 minutes. The surgery took 8 hours. We thought the person died. They don't want to tell us. 8 hours. The surgeon comes out, and he says, cured. Cured? What happened to all that cancer? No, it was a benign tumor in the duodenum. It grew and grew till it's the size of a grapefruit. I managed to take 7 bypasses and take it out. The person should be fine. How long did that person live? 20 years. Kim'at to the day. 20 years, Rabbi Sai. They see what we don't see. They have a certain siyata dishmaya. The Mishnah says, "Veheveh mitabek be'afar raglehem." Is that poetic? Is that poetic? Veheveh mitabek, you should follow in the dust of their feet. Tell me, Rabotai, what does that mean? You know what it means? That if you walk behind the Talmid Chacham, if you walk behind the Rosh Yeshiva, he kicks up dirt. If that dirt and dust settles on you, you're a lucky man. It has Kedusha. You know, the Kaf HaHaim writes that there's a minhag by Sfardim, you kiss the Rav's hand. Where did that come from? Especially everybody sends their children over to Rav to kiss the Rav's hand. Where did that come from? The Kaf HaHaim says, you know what the source is for that? It's that the hand of the Rav, of the Talmid Chacham, has Kedusha from all the Torah that he wrote during his lifetime. And when the child kisses the hand, he's imbued with that Kedusha. That's why you should kiss the hand of the Talmid Chacham. So says the Kaf HaHaim. Rabotai, the Pasuk says, B'tachtit Ahar. Where was Yehoshua for 40 days and 40 nights? When Moshe Rabbeinu was up in the mountain. He was B'tachtit Ahar. He was at the foothill of the mountain. Why? Isn't he not the next leader of Klal Yisrael? Are there not 3 million people in the camp? There were problems there. Egel HaZahav. What was he doing? He was waiting for his Rebbe, Moshe Rabbeinu. He could not fathom being a minute without his Rebbe when he comes down. He sat and he encamped at the foothill of the mountain. Yoshua ben Nun understood what it means to have a Rebbe. Your house should become a bet va'ad lehachamim. Why? Because all your surroundings and children will only benefit from it. But I want to tell you over a story I heard from Rabbi Waxman. A story in the Dvar Torah. Told over the following story. Amazing story. It says Rav Elchanan Wasserman had a yeshiva we all know in Baranovich. He even came to America to collect money in New York. And the war broke out. Everybody told him don't go back. And he said no, he's going back. He's not going to leave his Talmidim alone. And he went back, and we all know the story. He went dancing to the gas station, to the gas chambers on Imamim with his Talmidim. But before, when days were better, Rav Elchanan used to go himself and raise money for the yeshiva in Europe. And there was one wealthy man who he visited every year, a very wealthy man. And the day that he visited him this time was a rainy, stormy, winter, muddy day. There was no concrete roads like we have here. In Europe, it was dirt roads. And everybody wore high boots on such days. And Rav Elchanan was wearing these boots. And he got to the door of the Gvir. And he was ready to make his way up the steps to the front door. And then he remembered. This Gvir had a magnificent white carpet at the entrance when you walked in. The mensch that Rav Elchanan was, he said, I'm not going to go through the front door and track up his white carpet. I'll go through the back door where the kitchen is. He went around the back, and he knocked on the door, and the Gevir opened up the door. He saw Rav Elchanan. First, he gave him a big shalom aleichem, and then his face dropped. He said, Rebbe, what are you doing? You are ruining my 2 daughters' chinuch. He said, what? He says, how can you come through the back door? I beg you, go back to the front door and track up my white carpet, lest my daughters will think that a white carpet is more important than Kavod Torah. Go and track up my carpet. Let my daughters come home and see the mud. Let them ask what happened, and I'll tell them this is the mud from the holy boots of Rav Elchanan. Please go around the front and track up my daughter. You're ruining the chinuch of my children. My children know that I built this big, beautiful, palatial home. It's only secondary to Kavod Torah. It's only secondary to what Torah represents. Please, I beg you. And he made him go through the front and track up the carpet. Rabotai, what happened to these 2 daughters? You know what happened to them? They both married Rosh Yeshivas of Telz. Both of them. Because of the chinuch that he got, that he gave them. Because he had such kavod Torah, he was zocher to such son-in-laws. Now, let's look at someone else by the name of Lot. Look what happened to Lot. The Malachim come to Sodom to destroy Sodom. They end up being a guest by Lot. The entire town comes to the house, surrounds the house. Why? Because somebody committed a terrible crime. They took in guests, and we want those guests now. They demand from Lot. Lot begs them, pleads with them. The Malachim pull Lot back in. With one wave of the hand, they blind the entire city, men, women, and children. And then they tell Lot, Lot, you have to run away. We're here to destroy the city. And they tell Lot, Hahara Himalet, escape to the mountain. Why, Pentisafer, lest you be swept away. Rashi says, Etzel Avraham Berach. You know what they said when they said run to the mountains? Run to Avraham Avinu, Shehu Yoshev Bahar, who's sitting in the mountain. That's where you belong, Lot. Go to Avraham Avinu. What does Lot do? Lot gives them an argument. Lot argues, and Lot tells them, Anochi lo uchal limahle tahara. I cannot run to the mountain. Why? Pented bakani hara'av amati. Lest evil will overtake me and I will die. Can't go to the mountain. Please, there's a city nearby by the name of Tzohar. Let me run over there to Tzohar. Rabotai, since when do we argue with angels? Especially when they came to save your life. And what evil is Lot talking about over here? What evil was there? The Malachim understood that the best place in a time of danger is to be near a Talmid Chacham. The boy said, you ever get on a plane, let's say to Eretz Yisrael, and you walk into your seat and you notice there's a Rosh Yeshiva sitting there, or a Gadol, oh, you feel so good. Oh, we're going to make it. Okay, right? Well, if he's here, we're going to be fine. Okay? The best place to be is near a tzaddik. What is Lot talking about? Lest evil gets a hold of me and I'll die. And what are the Malachim arguing with Malachim? And then at the end, the Malachim agree with him. What do the Malachim tell him at the end? Oh, you know what? Okay, we heard what you have to say. Go. Maher, himalet shama. Hurry, flee over there to Tzohar. What is going on over here? What's going on? And if you look at Rashi, Rashi is very clear. Rashi says that what Lot was saying was the following. When I am in Sodom, my deeds compared to the deeds of the people, I'm a tzaddik. If I'm going to go be near the tzaddik Avraham Avinu, I'm finished. I'm finished. I look like a Rasha, and Hashem will take me. So therefore, let me go to Tzohar. Unbelievable. And the Malachim, instead of telling him, you're making a mistake, Lot. The best place to be is near Avraham Avinu. Go. What do they tell him? No, Maher, go. Himalet Shama, go over there. Go to Tzohar. Run. Why did the Malachim tell him that? And the Malachim told him that because once the Malach heard that he doesn't want to be next to Avraham Avinu, then you know what? Being next to Avraham Avinu will not help you. If you don't want to associate yourself with Gedolei Yisrael, then being there won't help you. If you don't want to be near the Rosh Yeshiva, then it's not going to help you to be near the Rosh Yeshiva. You have to want it. You have to be excited about it. You have to love Talmidei Chachamim in order to benefit from them. So they told Lot, go to Tzohar. Avraham Avinu can't help you. Rabotai, you hear? In order for us to benefit from Gedolei Yisrael, from Talmidei Chachamim, we have to cling to them. We have to want to be near them. We have to have a desire to be with them, to love them. We have to connect to Talmidei Chachamim. We have to make sure our children connect to Talmidei Chachamim. Could you imagine if Lot would have went to Avraham Avinu? If he would have listened to the Malach, and if he would have went to Avraham Avinu? Rabotai, he would not have suffered that eternal shame that he suffered of Ammon and Moab, that despicable act with his daughters, Lo yavo Amoni u'Moavi b'kal Hashem ad olam. Forever and ever Lot will suffer from this shame. If he would have went to Avraham Avinu, he would have had nachas from his children. He would have had satisfaction. But no, you didn't want to be near Avraham Avinu. Now you suffer the consequences. Rabotai, there's another character in the Torah, Lavan. It's unbelievable if you think about it. We read the story 1,000 times. But if you think about it, Yaakov leaves Lavan's house after 20 years. Lavan pursues him. He chases him. During his chase, he has a dream. HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes to him in a dream, Borei Olam. And he tells him, Vayomenu lo, Hishama lecha. Watch out, Lavan. Pen tedaber im Yaakov mitov adra. Don't talk to Yaakov Avinu. Not good or not bad. You better watch out. He wakes up. What do you think he does? He goes home? No, he doesn't go home. Could you believe it? What does he do? He runs after him. Vayaseg Lavan and Yaakov. Lavan overtook Yaakov. What are you, stupid? Hashem himself told you. Right? Hishama lecha, watch out. Don't start up with Yaakov. Don't speak to him. You would think one look at Yaakov Avinu, the Behir Shel Avot, he would melt. You know, we're talking about Yaakov Avinu. His image is on the Kisei HaKavod. And what happens? He has a confrontation with him. And Yaakov Avinu rebukes him. And Yaakov Avinu tells him, 20 years I'm with you. No animal ever had a miscarriage. Nor did I ever eat from your flock. Any terefah that there was in the flock, I bear the loss. If one was stolen by day or by night, you exacted it from my salary. By day I worked in scorching heat. By night in frost. You changed my wages 100 times. And if it wasn't for Hashem, you would have thrown me out with nothing. You would think that Lavan would be a little bit moved by this tochaha from Yaakov Avinu. You would think, yeah? Now, how does Lavan respond? Listen here, Yaakov. Habanot benotai. Those daughters, they're my daughters. Vehabanim banai. All your sons are my sons. Vehatzon, all the sheep, tzoni is my sheep. Vechol asher ata roeh lihu. Whatever you see is mine. This man a madman? No, he's not a madman. No. You know what it is? He never attached himself to good people. Lavan, his entire life. Imagine Yaakov Avinu lives in your house for 20 years and has no effect on the man. You know why? Because like Lot, he didn't want to have a relationship with Yaakov Avinu. He didn't want to be Yaakov Avinu. He only used him for his own personal need. Nothing else. Imagine living with Yaakov Avinu for 20 days, Rabotai. For 20 minutes. Your life is going to be changed. Nothing. Nothing. Why? I don't want to be near you. To the point where Hashem tells him, don't go! And he goes. And not only that, he gets into an argument with Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov finally gives it to him over the head. And what does he say? Everything's mine. Whatever you see here. The boys, the girls, the sheep, and everything else. It's all mine. It's unbelievable. This is what happens when you don't attach yourself to good people. It won't help you. The Rambam says, listen carefully. Avon gadol hu levazot et achamim u'lisnotan. The Rambam says it's a great avon to be mevazeh talmid acham or to hate a talmid acham. And hamevazeh, he goes on, hamevazeh talmidei hachamim en lo helek leolam haba. Rabotai, how many people we see today talk about talmidei hachamim, disparage them, take sides. En lo helek leolam haba. Hayav bekavod rabo yoter me'aviv. If you want to look all these up in the Rambam, it's in Hilchos Talmud Torah, Perek He, and the Rambam brings down a pasuk for each one. You're hayav in the kavod of your Rebbe more than the kavod of your father. Kola meharher ahar rabo. Whoever thinks bad about his Rebbe, ke'ilu meharher ala Shekhinah. It's as if you're thinking bad about the Shekhinah itself. And kola holek al rabo, whoever disputes his Rebbe, keholek ala Shekhinah. Kola oseh merivaim rabo. Whoever engages in controversy with his Rebbe, keoseh merivaim hashchina. You're making a merivah with the Shekhinah. Rabotai, we are playing with fire. Playing with fire. Tell you a Maisa with the Gaon of Vilna. Unbelievable. The Gaon of Vilna obviously was the undisputed Gadol Ador of his generation. The Gaon of Vilna lived in Vilna. He had no official title. He wasn't the Rav of the town. He had no official title. He sat and he learned with his Talmidim Yom Valayla. He never left his Gemara. The Gaon of Vilna, in Vilna, there was a Poisik. His name was Rav Shmuel. Fine. One day there was a very, very poor family. It was a Friday, who had one pot of food for Shabbos. All of a sudden, a question arose in the house if that pot of food is kosher or not. The family panicked. If they don't get an answer, they're not going to have anything to eat for Shabbos. So the mother right away sent the son to go ask the Gaon of Vilna. He went. The father ran out, not knowing his son's going to the Gaon of Vilna, and went to Rav Shmuel the Pesach. The son came back and said, the Gaon of Vilna said it's treif. The father came back and said, Rav Shmuel said it's kosher. Whoa. The Gaon said it's treif. Yeah. The father ran to Rav Shmuel and he told them, listen, you told me it's kosher, but unintentionally my son went. He didn't know I was coming. He went to the Gaon who lives right near us, and the Gaon said it's treif. Rav Shmuel ran. He took his coat. He ran to the house of the Gaon of Vilna. It was before Shabbos, and he told him, Rebbe, he told the Gaon of Vilna, please come with me to this mishpacha that you said it's treif, and eat the food with me, partake in the food. Why? Because I am the Pesach of Vilna, and if they hear that you paskin that it's treif and I paskin, it's going to break down my authority. You know what the Gaon of Vilna told him? I'm coming. The Gaon of Vilna paskin that was treif. He told the Pesach, you said it's kosher, I'm coming. And he went with him. And they went to this family, this poor family that never had such guests in their life, the Gaon of Vilna and the Pesach of the town of Shmuel. And they sat down to eat. Listen to this. They sat down to eat. They're ready to make kiddush. This pot of food is on the table. That's all they got. And the chandeliers were candles. A candle fell right into the pot. And the candle is made out of animal fat in those days. And everybody, Rav Shmuel and the Gaon Paskin, now for sure it's treif. Nobody ever ate from it. But the Gaon of Vilna was ready to eat on something that he Paskin was treif in order not to break down the authority of the Pesach. Amazing. Rabotai, Balaam, Hamor, takes one to know one. Balaam was, as bad as he was one of the greatest Nevi'im that ever walked this earth. How could it be that Balaam, where did he go wrong? He talked to God. He was a Navi. And he was a great Navi. The Be'er Yosef says, you know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. He lowered himself to the level of the donkey. He was considered his donkey's equal. Because he says, otherwise you could ask a kasha. Why did everybody have a complaint, the malach and the donkey herself, on Balaam, for Balaam hitting her? Listen, if you're a donkey and you're obligated to get your owner from point A to point B and you deviate from the path, you deserve to get hit. So what's the complaint? Why you hit me 3 times? What's the complaint? You're a donkey and you deviated from the path. You deserve to get hit. Says the Be'er Yosef, no. The Gemara in Sanhedrin says, that Balaam lived with his donkey. Therefore, he was equal to the donkey. And the donkey's taina was, you are my equal, not my superior. Therefore, you can't hit me. How does a Navi lower himself to the level of a donkey? How, Rabotai? And it's the same thing. He knew what HaKadosh Baruch Hu thought of Am Yisrael. He knew what Am Yisrael meant to the world. But yet, his only desire was to curse Klal Yisrael. He never once attached himself with anybody good. And when you don't attach yourself with good people, you can lower yourself to the level of a donkey. So terrible. Balaam should have died a hero to the world. And he died like a dog. Why? Couldn't attach himself to anybody good. All he wanted to do was curse. Lo hareva Yerushalayim ad shebazu ba talmidei hachamim. Rabotai, we're in the 3 weeks. Did you hear this line? We're in the 3 weeks. Friday is Rosh Chodesh Av. We're looking at another Tisha B'Av. We hope not. We hope Mashiach will come. But again, we're going to sit down. Again, we're going to cry over the Beis HaMikdash. Again, we're going to mourn. Year after year after year. Listen to the line. Lo hareva Yerushalayim ad shebazu ba talmidei hachamim. With all the terrible things that were going on during the Churban, Yerushalayim was not destroyed only till they started to be mevazeh talmidei hachamim. It's unbelievable. Lo hareva Yerushalayim ad shebazu ba talmidei hachamim. Terrible. We're here for 2,000 years in this gullus. 2,000 years. Why? Because bazu ba talmidei hachamim. They disgraced talmidei hachamim. The Gemara in Sanhedrin says, "V'ilu she'en lahem helek la'olam haba." The following people don't have a share in the next world. They bring down 3 types of people. Number 1, ha'omer en tehiyat ha'metim min ha'Torah. Tehiyat ha'metim is not from the Torah. I don't believe it. En lo helek la'olam haba. Good. Number 1. Number 2, ve'en ha'Torah min ha'shamayim. If someone says Torah was not given min ha'shamayim, en lo helek la'olam haba. Number 3, ve'afikoros, the apikoros. Who's that? Who's apikoros? Rav ve'Rabbi Hanina amru shnehem. Rav ve'Rabbi Hanina both said, apikoros ze hamevazeh talmid hacham. An apikoros is somebody who's mevaza a talmid chacham. That's an apikoros. Nimsa imken she'amevazeh talmid hacham en lo helek la'olam haba. If an apikoros has no share in the next world, and an apikoros is somebody that's mevaza talmid hacham, so if you're mevaza talmid hacham en lo helek la'olam haba, it's simple as that. Simple as that. By the way, let's talk about some positive aspects of being mechabed talmidei hachamim. The Pelei Yoetz says, Mi shenoten kavod letalmid hacham, somebody who gives honor to a talmid hacham, he is being mekayem a mitzvat aseh of mipenei seva takum. Every time you mechabed a talmid chacham in any way possible, you fulfill a mitzvat aseh of mipenei seva takum. What's his reward? Says the Pelei Yoetz. Right? What's his reward? Yizkeh liyirat shamayim. Wow. If you're mechabed talmidei hachamim, you'll be zocheh to yirat shamayim. How hard do we work on ourselves? We want some yirat shamayim in this day and age, in this crazy world that we live in. We want to have some yirat shamayim. You want to know how to get it? Be mechabed talmidei hachamim, and your schar is you'll get yirat shamayim. Rabotai, it's worth it. Well worth it. Well worth it. When you're constantly around talmidei hachamim, you're constantly around Shekhinah. It has to cause yirat shamayim. You know, Hasidim, I don't know if there are any here tonight. Hasidim, yeah, They have a Rebbe. The Rebbe decides all the major decisions in life, right? People look at it as like maybe something archaic. Well, you don't have a mind of your own. You can't think. Hasidim are very smart, Rabotai. They understand that the Rebbe is the closest thing they have to Shekhinah. They understand that. And therefore, the Rebbe has a certain siyata d'shmaya that I don't have. And therefore, I'll allow him to make the decision. Because his decision is with a tremendous amount of siyata d'shmaya. Yeah? On a much higher level of Kedusha, whether it's a Rebbe or a Shishiva or Gadol or your Rav, he is on a higher level of Kedusha. Rabotai, we have no idea. We are clueless. I heard a story from Rav Dunner about the Satmar Rebbe. Rav Dunner said the Satmar Rebbe, when he came to this country, he was very, very busy building a Kehillah and Satmar and everything. And he had a very, very important meeting, and he was a little bit late for it. And the Gabbai was waiting for him and pushing him, let's go, let's go, let's go. Finally, in Williamsburg, they went downstairs, they went into the car, they started driving, and the driver looked at his watch, and he was sure it was the time to hear the traffic report. He wanted to hear the traffic report to see if they're going to get there on time. He put on the radio, and it was an advertisement, and it was a Kol Isha, a woman singing. And the Rebbe jumped, and he shook, and the man realized that he shut off the radio. The Rebbe told him, turn around and take me home. He says, we're late for the appointment, a very important appointment. Turn around and take me home. He turned around, he took him home. The Rebbe told him, wait here. He ran upstairs to his apartment. He came back down with a bag, and he got in the car. He told the driver, in this bag are the clothes that I was wearing when I heard Kol Isha. Burn them. Burn the clothes. You hear what kind of Kedusha? He couldn't imagine ever putting on those clothes again. I heard through a radio a lady's voice singing. Burn the clothes. It's Kedusha. Maze. Okay. There's a famous Maisa with Rav Yaakov Kamenetsky that he started putting on. All of a sudden, he comes to shul one day, and he putting on tefillin, Rabbeinu Tam. It's an old man. He never wore Rabbeinu Tam tefillin. Everybody in the shul was wondering what's going on. So they asked him. A few people went out and said, Rabbi, what's going on? You never wore Rabbeinu Tam tefillin. What is this? He says, I'll tell you. He says, some 50 years ago, in Europe, somebody came over to me and asked me why I don't wear Rabbeinu Tam tefillin. And he told me, I told him why, but he said, but the Chafetz Chaim wears Rabbeinu Tam tefillin. So I told him, the Chafetz Chaim is 90. When I'll be 90, I'll also wear. Today is my 90th birthday. And I never forgot what I said. A neder came out of my mouth. How many times did you say Hatarat Nedarim in the last 50 years? No. A neder came out of my mouth. I said, when I'll be 90, I'll wear Rabbeinu Tam tefillin. Today's my 90th birthday. I never forgot it. So today I wear Rabbeinu Tam tefillin. Could you imagine? How about that? But they're on a different league, a different plateau. I myself, I heard from Rav Ruvain Feinstein about Rav Moshe Zecher Tzadik V'Kadosh Livracha. He told me that he says, my father needed a pacemaker. Maybe when he was in his 80s, early 80s. He needed a pacemaker. And he entered the hospital the night before to do it the next morning. And I came early the next morning before the procedure. And I saw my father, Rav Moshe. I asked him how he slept. And he says he really didn't sleep last night. Why? He was being yefashfesh b'ma'asav. He was trying to figure out, why is he getting this pacemaker? What avera did he do that he deserves to get a pacemaker? So he tells his son, my dear son, I went through all the mitzvot aseh. I was never over on one. I went through all the lo ta'aseh. Don't ever remember being over. I went through all the karet and all the mitot bedin and all the derabbanans that I can remember. I don't ever remember being over on anything. And it bothered me. So why is this happening to me? He didn't even enter his mind that it was Yisurin Shel Ahava. No. He says, there has to be a reason. He says, I finally got it. I figured it out. So what is it? He says, when I was a young man in yeshiva, I learning my chavrusa back in Europe, in Lavan, and we had a very big argument on a sugya. For a week, we argued the same point. And it came out at the end that he was moided to me that I was right. And you know what? I felt good in my heart that I was right and that he was wrong. And that's why I'm being punished with my heart. Because I felt good in my heart. Rabbi say, some probably 50, 60 years before. Okay? But forget about that. I was never oved. I went through I went through all the derabanans and all the deraises and all the asers and all the lot asers and all the karet and all the mitabedin. I couldn't find anything. I had to find this. We're talking about people who are way, 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 way ahead of us. Again, from the kedusha, they have a siyata d'shmaya like we never had before, Rabotai. Nothing to talk about. Nothing to talk about. I'll tell you a maisa. Happened to me with Rav Shach. I was in Eretz Yisrael and I saw a bacha who I knew, and he asked me if I'm going to Bnei Brak. I said, I happen to be. I am. He says, are you going to Rav Shach? I said, yes. Can I come? I said, come. He was a little bit older. He wasn't married, and he wanted a bracha to get married. We went into Rav Shach. So Rav Shach was talking to me, and then he asked me, who's this fellow? So I told him he came from America. He wants a bracha to get married. Rav Shach says, how old is he? I said, 24. He says, 24? Lama hu lo nasui? Why is he not married? I said, Bosh is panim. He's very shy. It's very difficult for him to go out on a date. So Rav Shach says, Bosh is panim le Gan Eden. Aval tzarich lischaten. You have to get married. Okay. So he tells the boy, you have to get married. The boy says, I want to get married. So Rav Shach says, okay, taftiach li, promise me, shetischaten hashana. Promise me you're going to get married this year. Boy never went out with a girl in his life. Can't even talk. He's very shy. No, he doesn't answer. The boy doesn't answer. Rav Shach says, Atat taftiach li, promise me. No, Rav Shach opens his Gemara and he starts learning. And then he turns to me and he says to me, Hu lo halech mipo. He's not leaving this house. Achu taftiach, until he promises. You want to go? You could go. Hu lo yelech. The fellow looks at me. He's ready to cry. So we sit there. We sit there for 5 minutes. 5 minutes felt like 5 years. Okay. Rav Shach looks up. He goes, no. I turned to the boy. I said, what do you want to do? So what can I do? I can't promise. How can I promise I'm getting married this year? It's impossible. I said, listen, the Gadol Ador tells you to do something. You have to do it. He says, I can't. How can I do it? Rav Shach asked me, what did he say? I said, Hu lo yachol. He said, okay, Hu lo halech mipo. He's not leaving. Okay, it's a ma'aseh shaya, Rabbi say. We're sitting there. This is going on every 5 minutes. Rav Shach looking at everyone's going, no. Rav Shach goes, ata yachol alecha. You could go. Hu lo yachol alecha. This goes on and on. The boy is crying. I said to him, listen, I got things to do. I got to go. Okay, let's go. He says, how can I promise? I said, Rav Shach. Finally, he turns to Rav Shach. He says, if you give me a bracha that I'll get married. Okay, Rav Shach says, Ani eten lecha bracha, aval ta taftiach koidem. First you promise. He promised. Rav Shach gave him a bracha. We left. We went out the door. The boy was extremely depressed and crying. He says, what did I just do? I promised to the Gadol Ador an impossibility. What'd I do? He was terrible that day, depressed. We go back to Yerushalayim. At the end of the day, we go to the hotel. I see an elderly man there who I know from America. I said, what are you doing here? He said, I came to Eretz Yisrael to visit my granddaughter who's in seminary. Here she is. She's there. Okay, fine. 6 months later, these two get married. 6 months later, these two get married. I'm at the Sheva Brachas, I have a big mouth, and I told them the story. So the father of the Kala gets up and he says, that's not the end of the story. We were also by Rav Shach that week. And we told Rav Shach she has a problem, she doesn't want to go out, she's scared, this and that. Rav Shach made a promise. Okay. But you couldn't make it up if you wanted to. Okay. It's Gedolei Israel. They're in a different league. They're way above us. We're clueless to what's going on. And dare people talk about Talmidei Chamim? To disparage them? If two Gedolim are having a mahloket l'shem shamayim, which we see in our times, are we allowed to talk about one? Are we allowed to take sides? Mazeh. How? To disparage them? Who are we? I'm going to conclude with a story. There was a 50th wedding anniversary in Yerushalayim. And this couple was a rarity for their time. They had everything. They had good children, good grandchildren. Nobody went off the derech. They had parnasa, they had health. And they have this 50th wedding anniversary. Okay? And at the wedding anniversary, one of the grandchildren got up and asked, Zaidi, Bobby, tell us, how'd you do it? What's the recipe for such hatzlacha? What'd you do? So the Zaidi says, forget about that, never mind. But let me tell you a story what happened in my day. He said, Rabbi Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld was the Rav Rashi of Yerushalayim. And there was a chasana, and Rav Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld was going to be the Masada Kedushin. Before he got there was a Kabbalah's panim, and the girl was an older girl, the Kala. Took her a long time before she found somebody. And the boy says to his father, when they're sitting there at the Kabbalah's panim, I don't think I could do it. Father says, what? I don't think I could do it. What do you mean you can't do it? I don't think I can get married. I'm getting cold feet. Father says, we're here at the chasana. What are you talking about? I don't know. I can't do it. He took one look at the ksuv on the table. I can't. Father tries to talk to him. Nothing to talk about. The boy gets up and runs out and runs away. The place starts to buzz. The Kala doesn't know anything. She's in another room with all the ladies. The place is buzzing. All the friends are outside, talking what to do. We go get him, how, where, what. In walks Rav Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld. They run over to him. The father of the Kala is going out of his mind. He runs over to Rav Yosef Chaim and says, this is what just happened. And my daughter is going to have a nervous breakdown till she found the chassan. We're here at the chassan. She's in her wedding gown. There's no chassan. What's going to be? Rav Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld talks to the father of the chassan. The father says, what should I do? He ran away. I wasn't expecting this. I'm in shock myself. I don't know what to do. Okay. Rav Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld says, okay, 1 minute. He goes outside to where all the friends were, and he calls them all over, and he says, listen here. Come here. He says, who here wants a guaranteed chelik in Olam Haba and Olam Hazeh? I promise you everything. All you have to do is marry this girl tonight. Goes to the first boy. No, my mother will kill me. Not doing it. Goes to the next boy. No, not even a new suit for my chasana. No, went down, boy. One boy says, do you really promise me that? Yes, I promise you, you'll have everything. I'll do it. They call, Rav Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld goes over to the father of the Kala and the chassan and says, listen, I found the chassan. What do you mean you found the chassan? New chassan. Right? New chassan? Yeah, new chassan. How many dates did they go out anyway in those days? Right? So he says, what are you talking about? I found an Elicha boy. He'll marry her tonight. You'll have a chasana, everything. Right? My daughter doesn't even know what's going on. Okay, let's tell her. They go and they tell the daughter, listen, you remember your chassan? No more. He's gone. New chassan. Ma'aseh Shaya. She goes, what? He ran away, we got a new one. Where's my chassan? No more. New chassan. A new chassan, I never even met him. Rabbi Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld says, so meet him. They sat them down at a table. First date in a wedding gown. Okay, sat them down at a table. They met. Rabbi said, they had a chasana. Back to the 50th wedding anniversary. The Zaidi says, you know who that chassan and Kala was? Me and your Bubby. Right. I was the one who said I would do it. And I believed in Rav Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld when he told me I'm going to have everything. And I have everything. I had parnasa my whole life. I have health, me and my wife, good children, good grandchildren. We had arichas yomim. We had everything. Right? Rabotai, who's the hero of this story? Rav Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld, you would think? I think the chassan. Why? Because he had emunat hachamim. He believed be'emunah shelema in the Rav, in the Gadol Ador, right? What he says, he means. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I saw a video a few weeks ago. I plotched. If I didn't see it in my own eyes, I wouldn't believe it. In Rav Chaim's house. A lot of things go on in Rav Chaim's house, Rabotai. I've been there many, many times, but this one takes the cake. A fellow walks in. I don't know why they videoed it. A fellow walks in. yeshiva shaman, middle age, and he goes to Rav Chaim and he says, I have a major problem in my life. I'm a frum farmer. I keep Shemitah, I keep everything, and it's a very big business. 10 years ago, an Arab worker fell off of a ladder and broke his back. He really did break his back. His permanent damage, and this worker suing me for 10 years. The case was going on. Now the insurance company said, and the lawyer said, the jig is up. He wants X amount of dollars. The judge says that it's you got to pay. I have to pay out of pocket besides the insurance policy, right? That it's going to put me out of business. And now the lawyer wants me to give an offer. How much am I offering towards that amount? I can't offer such money. I'll be bankrupt either way. I can't do it. Rav Chaim tells him, 10 lahem shekel. He says, what? 10 lahem shekel, lo yoter mi shekel. Give him 1 shekel, not more. He says, what does that mean? 10 lahem shekel, lo yoter mi shekel. This is a joke. Right? They're asking for hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of shekalim. Right? Give him 1 shekel. Rav Chaim takes his wallet out of his pocket. He opens it up. He's looking inside. He's digging. He pulls out 1 shekel. 10 lahem shekel. V'ulai ze yoter midai. Maybe this is too much. V'tachzir li. Aval lo yoter mi shekel. This fellow has emunas chachamim. He calls the lawyer the next morning, and he tells the lawyer, 1 shekel. The lawyer's crazy. What does that mean? Chaim said 1 shekel. Now, 2 months later, you see them videoing again. Rav Chaim and on Motzai Shabbos. The fellow walks in. Rav Chaim's drinking tea. He tells him hot on Motzai Shabbos. He says, Dad, he says, you remember me? I was the farmer. You told me 1 shekel. He says, yeah, makara. He says, I came back to return the shekel that you gave me. He says, what happened? He says, I called the lawyer the next day. I told them only 1 shekel. Go offer them 1 shekel, no more. The lawyer says, you crazy? Offer them 1 shekel. Rav Chaim said 1 shekel, 1 shekel. Call them and tell them we're offering 1 shekel. When one lawyer told it to the other lawyer, and the lawyer went back and told it to the people, they said, you know what? We're fed up already. Just give us what the insurance company is going to give us. It's 10 years already, and we're done. So he comes back to Rav Chaim, and he tells Rav Chaim, here's the shekel back. So he gives it to Rav Chaim. Rav Chaim takes it. He says, Aval, Ulai Rav Chaim yiten li et shekel. Maybe you'll give me the shekel. Rav Chaim says, Lama ze sheli. Okay, so he says, because I could be mekadesh shem shamayim with it. I could go around and show people this is the shekel that I listened to Rav Chaim. I had emunas chachamim, and a nes happened to me with it. Rav Chaim looks at him, gives him the shekel. He tells him, Kach b'matana gemura. Take it from matana gemura. He gave it to him. And then he told him, wear your payas in front of your ears, not behind your ears, and put your brim up, and he sent them out. Okay? Okay. In our door, there are such people, such malachim walking around. Rabotai, Korach destroyed himself because he refused authority. We have to learn how to, even in this door when nobody accepts authority, we have to learn how to accept authority. We have to get our children and our grandchildren to cling to Talmidei Hachamim. And Be'ezrat Hashem, we'll be zocheh to Yirat Shamayim, like the Pelei Yoetz said. We'll be zocheh to Yirat Shamayim. Mashiach will come. It's Ikvased de Mashiach. Mashiach will come, and he'll be proud of us. He'll be proud of us that we have such yiras Talmidei Chachamim, such yiras Shamayim, such emunat Chachamim. That's how we can live a proper life. We follow the directory that the Chachamim give us, and Be'ezrat Hashem will be zocheh to Geula Shelema. Amen. Okay.
Big Yasher Koyach and Chazak Baruch to Rabbi Ozeri for the inspiring Russia. Rabbi say, help Irgun Torah continue being mechazik the tzibur, helping the tzibur to connect to Talmidei Chachamim and with the emunas Chachamim, and we're bringing Talmidei Chachamim to the tzibur throughout the summer, throughout the year. Help Irgun Torah do that and have a chelik in this Habbatzis Torah, the Rabbi of connecting with Talmidei Chachamim by sponsoring a shir. Call Irgun Torah 718-851-8651 or email tapecenter@yeshivanet.com. We'd like to give a big yashikach to Martin Silver and family for sponsoring tonight's shir. It's a sponsor for Shlema for a full Chaim Dov Ben Risa Shoshana B'Soy Shocher Yisrael. Sir Shekach, to Rav Hirsch Chaim Williger, for support for tonight's Shir Chvoid, the Mazel Tov of or Einikol, Chil Mechel, Williger, B'richas Yom V'Shalom Tovis. CDs of tonight's Shir will be available shortly. Shekach to everyone for coming. Chananya ben Akash, Emer Rotzak HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'Zakis, Es Yisrael, Afikr Hebelem Torah, Mitzvah Shenema, Adonai Chofes, Aman Tzidka, Yagdul Torah V'Yadeh.